Hey guys, how's it going? June 28th, 2018. And I saw Ski was the last name, and then I realized Clinton had said hi first, but I wasn't making favoritism. Of course, I know Ski, but that's okay. Maybe I'll get together sometime, Ski. I'm going to be off on vacation soon. I should give you an email. See what you're up to. Oh, what do we got here? I don't know what's going on. I got to be running some trains or something. Well, it's daylight now. I see that. Less than 90 minutes, as I've put in the title. So, what do we want? Oh, jeez. I'm still playing the damn music. Hey. It's not me. Holy crap. Needles is packed. I don't think I want to do that. Do I want to run up in LA? I'm not sure. You know, let's take a look at something here. What the heck? Okay. Let's take a look at the schedule. See what we got coming up. What's are we? I'm not even too sure what time we're at here. It's got to be 7:30. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, good. They started late. Means I get to run a little bit later. That's always good. 7:30. It's not this one. Let's get to the right session here. We on 14. Here we go. Give me that. All right. Well, that's not till 8 o'clock, so forget that idea. And I imagine A3 and A4 are done by now. They should be anyways. Well, yeah, the A3 we saw passing the other night, so that's an hour and a half later. Nah, I'm not gonna worry about passengers. Tempting, but no thanks. Those are just the locals. I don't think there's anything else coming. We have a 7:45, but we're still a ways away. Actually, we're close to 7:30. I don't know what that little X thingy means. So we got okay, it's 7:30 right now. Let's see what's spawned, and then we'll go from there. Well, that's interesting. Do I want to run out to Tulsa, Oklahoma if it's ready? I don't even know if it is. ZLAHA Chai 1. Well, he's not going to be hang on a second. Does he have an EOT on it? He does. Okay. I'll get the good engine. That's worth it. Always worth the good engine. Channel 32. I thought I saw it moving. That's a good one to take. So I forgot that I have to make the I don't know what track I'm under. I am in North 2. Okay. That should have been, oh, it's updating now. There we go. Departed. He's a heavy boy. Nice and heavy, just like I want them. Oh, I got a yellow. Come on, baby. Took notch 5 to get going. If I can keep it going. Alright, what's going on here? Getting a little worried. I'm looking at the wrong side. What's the rear? The rear is showing 90. Alright. This ain't good. Man, this thing's heavy. I've never taken that much to go. Alright, what's going on here? I'm totally stretched. What? Okay. That could be the problem. What the hell? I didn't do that. Why is that rolling? What the hell? I couldn't control it. That was weird. I saw them. I saw the cars rolling, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I thought somebody was working on the. They just started rolling. I was up to notch 5, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with my train, and then that was just weird. But I don't have the air on the back. That's why. Okay, now I gotta reacquire. Let's try that again. I had just started partially opening. Just check the flow for a minute. Should be alright. My train was not rolling. I was trying to get it to roll, but could I have Was there somehow that... No. I'm wondering if I did it. But I didn't take any... I was controlled by this train. Did I accidentally hit it? Okay. I was afraid that I had hit something on the side while I was playing around with this. That sometimes happens, but it was just weird. Well, I guess I'm not going anywhere. Any switchers around? Oh. That's better. I was wondering why I couldn't get going with notch 5, but that was strange. Oh, there's a train there. I was gonna say, I thought this side of the yard went downhill. Turn the sand off, I don't need that anymore. another tough day with trucks. Hopefully I got everything cleared up by tomorrow, because I'm going on vacation, so... Well, or at least I'm on vacation. Got a holiday Monday, 2 vacation days, and I'm back on Thursday after the July 4th. Divergent clear a second ago. I was zooming up ahead, I was gonna like, oh, divergent clear. Comes another train. Busy Barstow, yes. Okay. Ah, A3 just arrived. I saw a train. Yeah. Oh, he said he's got a stop signal. Okay. Is he behind the other one? Yep. Ooh, all jam-packed up there. Scheduled arrival. Ooh. Always nice. I can unleash hell and fury here in a second. He cheated. Haha. I should be getting a speed upgrade in a second here. Of course, it says 15. I do 10 on those switches. Old school. clear signal. There's another counter here. I'll take that and go up to there. Just watching the speed. I should be out of the 15 zone, I would think. I think I have to get right out of the departure tracks. Well, I can go up to 15 now. I should be able to. What the hell? Come on. Am I not out of there yet? Oh, there. Now I'm going to be out of there. Get. Give it a second. Might be able to time this one. Might be able to. Then again, might not. Yeah, there's 30. Approach 745. Is that him? That was a San Bernardino train. Oh, it might be. Actually, it might be. I don't know. I don't think so. Looks like an AI to me. I'll honk at him anyways. Yep, I thought so. I thought that was Bill. He's got another signal. My 50 should be any second. Come on, give it to me. There it is. Okay, a little desert running. What's the needles like today? Let's see here. Look pretty busy going the other way. Yeah, figures. I'm not gonna have much traffic unless it's behind me. Oh well. That's okay, I was busy enough. diverging clear. I had a clear a minute ago. How did I get that? I was going too fast as it was anyways. Actually, I'm going way too fast. Borderline dangerous speed. I think I had a clear on that one. I shouldn't have had a diverging. I don't know what happened. I know I had a diverging clear originally and then it changed. I swear I had something. Okay. I'll put the counter back on. Well, I think it's Mineola where it switches. Mineola or Troy? I can't remember. Hey, who knows? Maybe I humped some of those cars the other night. That's the beauty of it. Now the only disadvantage for me, unfortunately, is I'm not going to have as much time this summer. I really haven't, just because of the way Tuesdays and Thursdays work for me. So being from one session to the other allows me to continue a train run type thing. Unfortunately, I can't do it because I'm never here for the start of a session. But it's okay. I don't mind taking the train and then just doing something else. What do we got here? Wow! Woo! Man, there's a... Why was there 3 nuns there? That was weird. Well, I'm up to 55. I guess I'm through the switch. Switched to 55 so soon. That was dumb. I'm only at West Daggett. Shouldn't even be anywhere near there. I'll switch back. Switching to 32. Stay in the shade. That's what I wanted right there. as long as you're watching watching everything, and you can do scenic shots like that, especially when there's not much traffic, and I know there's not. When I'm on double track, I don't worry too much about cheating on the signals or cheating on what the board looks like. When I'm in single track, it's a little different. I like to be genuinely surprised. But in this situation, what I'll do is, like I was doing before, I can take a look knowing that I'm 55 in one of the lower. Now, mind you, I am coming up on some traffic. So he might be heavier than me, or I don't know what's going on. Well, Pisgah, hard to say, but 1.8 HPT, you know, depends. It could be somebody just a little slower than me, a grain train, you never know, right? But I think he's been spaced out for a while, hard to say. But as I said, once I get up to around Pisgah, I'm expecting the other guy's going to be at Ash Hill. But we only got, well, what do we got? We got 35 minutes left. Looks like they started a little later tonight. Oh, my toast is ready. Just kind of make it enjoyable, have some different scenes and shots. Anyways, I'll be back. Emergency tone earlier too. It was probably a little too late, but it didn't really matter at that point. People were already alerted that something was going on at Barstow. The reason why what I should have done was switch over to 0. Actually, no, I could have stayed on the same channel and simply advise, you know, emergency cars rolling east out of Barstow Yard or something, instead of just doing an emergency tone. Because then what that would do, first of all, anything that was running AI would try to stop at least, but I don't know if it would have mattered that much. But a player train could stop. If you ever get into a situation like that and you got cars rolling at you, the best thing you can do is, if you have enough time, put your train into emergency. Once you come to a stop, relinquish your train. Because it's the connection that causes all kinds of goofy things. Actually, a lot of times they'll just go through each other, especially if it's AI or something. I don't know what the issue was, to be honest, but something happened. I was kind of surprised it was rolling. I thought maybe it was my vibration somehow, but that didn't make sense to me, so I don't know what exactly happened, but apparently I didn't do it. I was afraid I accidentally clicked it or some silly thing. I don't know if I'm gaining on those guys or what's going on. Hard to say. I'm surprised. Because the intermodals should be taken off. I should get traffic coming on my button soon. Looks like we got at least 2 maybe by the end of the night. We'll see. Oh, now I'm going uphill. That's why I was catching them. Forgot about that. Through my finances a little bit more too, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't go on a big trip this weekend, but I still may stay at least one night somewhere. I'm not 100% sure of that one either, to be honest. Things are going to get pretty tight for me by the end of the year, I think. Now I got investments that I can liquefy. Yeah, I think that's the word. So I'm not going to go broke. How far am I from broke? I don't know. At least 2 to 3 years. Probably by the time my son becomes a teenager, if I was to continue continue at that pace, but hopefully I never have to find out. But I've been there. Don't want to go back. Thursday, by the sounds of it. My son's interest in Run 8 is gone. It seemed like it was coming back, and then they're just like, nope. It was really gone before it ever started up again. Which is okay. You know, he's doing his things. I don't expect him to, you know, especially, I mean, different things, you know. I mean, yes, he's very similar to me in many, he still loves trains too, but it's not for everybody. I get it. Especially we got the age difference, so you never know, right? Mind you, I think if I was his age, when I was me, I'd be in heaven with this. But that's just me. I was a bit older than him when I first started seeing different applications come up on the computers, because I was already a teenager when I really started getting into computers. So
BNSF detector milepost 711.1 main 2 ambient temperature 80 degrees.
basically what I mean by that is, when we were talking about this, actually it was kind of weird because I saw his report card, which was, man, it was unbelievable. They're apparently in this, you know, not brag, I can brag, who cares, it's my son. Apparently he's gifted. I'm still trying to figure out where he gets that from. If it's me, his mom, or a combination of both, probably. But we both myself and my ex have various issues involving. It doesn't mean we're not intelligent. It just means we have issues. I mean, she's on disability, or actually a learning disability, which I don't know why she's on a learning disability, to be honest. Seems pretty good. I mean, it's anyways, whatever. I don't want to get into that. I think she's more capable of doing things than she gives herself credit for. And me, I'm on seizure medication. And I told my son, I said, you take care of your head. And I said, that's one of the worst things that could happen. I mean, he reminds me of me when I was young, except he's much more risk-taking, I think. I mean, I took risks, don't get me wrong, but I mean, he had his elbow all cut up the other day. He had like gauze and bandages all over it because he's doing a dive. He loves goaltending. I don't know what the hell he was doing on pavement, but he was diving for a soccer ball on pavement or some crazy thing. I'm like, what the hell are you doing on pavement? Playing soccer, but anyways. I told him, I said, you know, it's one thing when you get your elbow. I says, but if it winds up being your head, I says, I'm telling you, you start getting concussions, Emmett, you're going to, it's going to be with you for the rest of your life if you're not careful. But yeah, his report card was pretty amazing. He's been bored. For the longest time he doesn't like school that much, oddly enough. He loves learning though. And he was never challenged. He loves the challenges. And he was bored last year. Last year he couldn't stand it. This year I think he enjoyed it a lot more. And it's because they recognize that he's actually way above. I mean, they don't skip grades anymore, but honestly, he's at a point where they could with him. He's going into grade 5 next year. And he's very popular regardless of that, because he's very helpful and nice to others, and you know, he doesn't get into these. He's well balanced, put it that way, considering since he was, late 3, he's been, his mom and dad have been at least separated. So, I mean, I was worried that was going to have I mean, I'm sure it does have some effect on him, but as far as his ability to be balanced, I mean, no, he's fine. And they're saying he's gifted. He did some test or something. He had mainly A's on his report card. I never got anywhere near that. They said I was intelligent. They said I was capable of more, but then again, they didn't realize the medication I was on had more of an effect than they realized. In fact, one of my teachers back in, I think it was grade 6, got me off the medication for a while. So what happened was I had a seizure. My first seizure came at how old was I? 9 years old? About the same age as him, actually. Because it was right around that time where things started going goofy. I think I was doing pretty good on the other side of town, and then we moved to the other side of town after my grandfather died in Niagara Falls. And it was weird, because I found it was difficult for myself. I found it was very challenging to study and remember things. And I didn't think anything of it then, but now I look back on it, I was like, okay, now I get it. But my one teacher, and I didn't really like history at the time, although I learned to like it later on in life. Science I was interested in. I couldn't study anything. I couldn't retain anything. And my one teacher actually recommended that I get off the medication because I had a seizure. And this is now I'm in grade 6. I mean, I'm getting I don't know, getting close to being a teenager, right, type thing. I guess in grade 6 you're at that. I don't know. My son's going to be 10. He's in grade 4. Or he just finished grade 4. He's graduating at 5 next year. But yeah, they took me off the medication, and then eventually, I only had one seizure my entire life at that point. And then now, it was kind of weird because then I was a teenager. I was doing okay. Wasn't doing, you know, I still wasn't doing that great in school. I was doing better. At least now I can retain some stuff and I can think a little bit clearly. I was actually, you know, that was my first exposure to computers, I think, around that time. Let me think about that. Yeah, I think I had a Commodore 64 by then. So I can't remember if they taught programming. Yeah, it was around grade, I don't know, grade 9. I can't remember. But anyways, like I said, my brain is screwed. But I remember I was starting to date now, so a few years had gone by, and then I must have still not have done well in school regardless, because either that or I was just lazy or whatever. I didn't care. I was more interested in, you know, doing fun things. But there was a lot more studying and homework and all that other crap, so back then. But no, all of a sudden I was, because I already had a license actually. So I remember that because they took away my license. I had a seizure, or at least they thought I had a seizure. And then I've been on the medication ever since. I've had a couple of it. I think I've had at least 2 other seizures. They had to adjust the medication, but this time they never took my license away. I think the last known seizure I had was probably about, I don't know, 6 years ago. No, more than that. It had to be more than that, because I still would have been with my ex. Time flies by. I can't even remember the time. It may probably, I would guess 8 years ago. I think my son was alive. But yeah, but I told him, I said, yeah, and I mean, you gotta think about it. In soccer, I had a concussion. He played soccer. Now, he never got a concussion, thankfully. I loved body checking in hockey. I don't think I ever got a concussion in that. But, I mean, I have torpedoed myself over a bike into a tree. I was in I think the one that caused the seizure was I dropped head first off the top bunk at night. We had a bunk bed. My grandfather was, I don't know if it was, my grandfather was there that time, but for whatever reason I was on the top bunk. And, oh, I felt it. Didn't get upset or anything. I was fine. I knew nothing was broken other than my brain, probably, at that point. And come to think of it, I landed on my left side. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember the left side, and I have a regular brainwave on the left side, or regular brainwaves on the left side. I don't know, but anyways. That's probably the trauma that did it. It wasn't too long after that I had my that was when I had my first seizure So it's not hereditary or anything. I just I can remember. The crazy thing is, I remember it was April Fool's Day on 1981. So now you know how old I am. But yeah, April Fool's Day 1981. My grandfather passed away. Oddly, you know, I can remember that. I think it was 3 days later. I think it was April 4th. Because my grandfather was the one that found me and was yelling for my mom because I was having convulsions. And I was taken to the hospital that time. My grandfather was actually recovering from hip surgery, but he wound up having a blood clot and passed away. I remember that. Oddly enough, I can't remember when my mom and my dad passed away. I can barely remember the year. Actually, I can't. And that wasn't that long ago, in retrospect. I think my mom passed away when my son was 2. My father passed away after we separated, but I have no idea exactly when that was. And that was the most recent. So, go figure. That's just the way my brain works. But I told him, I said, you take care of your brain. Or take care of your head. I said, take care of your brain, but... So, we'll see what he does. He's into karate too, so I don't know. Well, you know, I'm not going to discourage him from that. Obviously, he loves it. There's no way I would discourage him. But I mean, you can get hurt in that too. Punch in the face all the time. Mind you, it's not as you know, it's not like MMA or boxing or anything like that. I mean, he's got head protection, so. But he can, yeah, he can take a shot to the face. He gets hit in the face all the time. Incidentally. You're not supposed to, you know, not full force or anything like that. Oh, wow. 10 minutes left already. I'm still climbing the hill here. I finally got a train behind me. I might see one. Like I said, that's what I figured. I'll see around between Pisgah and Ash Hill. And that other guy just took off on me. I don't know who's behind me, but he might. He is going to catch me. Probably an intermodal. So yeah, that's good stuff. Hopefully he can use it to his advantage and find something that's you know, going to do good, because I'm telling you, this world we live in now, man. I remember hearing stories about the 50s and 60s, and my parents telling me how great it was. And, you know, you hear all kinds of, you know, hell, there used to be a show called Happy Days. Some of you might remember it. It's old enough. But yeah, every generation, it seems like, you know, I mean, there's much more advances and there's much more technology, but it seems like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and then everything else in between. It just, you know, we got this fake economy right now. I don't care how much what the stock market's doing or what it has done. Actually, it's suffering right now. It's very volatile. World markets are tough. Interest rates are almost non-existent or negative in Europe. You got trade tensions. You got some good stuff, dude, going on. At least there's some peace deal in North Korea. So I mean, there's good and bad, but you only can control what you can control, though. That's the thing. And then there's all this crap going on between. I don't want to get into politics too much, but all the. I mean, just the craziness. Everybody wants Trump's head and all this other garbage, and like, yeah, whatever. He's not perfect by any means, but nobody's been scrutinized more than Trump, and yet, you know, comparing him to Hitler and all this other garbage, give me a break. But if you look at where all the media and all the news is so freaking biased. I remember when Fox News used to be criticized back in the George H.W. Bush, who, you know, I didn't like George H.W. Bush in the States, I'll tell you that much. I'm from Canada, so, you know, not my president, but anyways. Or is it? Not George H.W. W.H., isn't it? George W.? I don't know. The young one. H.W.W.H. Whatever. The last Bush. H.W.W. I don't know. Whatever. One's the father, one's the little brat that don't know nothing. But yeah, they scrutinized Fox. You know, they say how biased Fox News was. Now you take a look around. Well, everything's owned by whatever. Fox isn't perfect by any means. Don't get me wrong. But they look like angels compared to all the crap with CNN and MSNBC or MSDNC. I've heard that's a good one. I'm not believe I could care less. I don't consider myself on any party, but
702.7 main 2 ambient temperature 80 degrees.
when I was talking about finances and all this stuff, eventually reality is going to come sooner or later. It's coming sooner than later, for sure. I got to figure out something, but then again, who knows what's going to happen in the fall or by fall? Because there's a lot of indicators right now that we should be into a recession, and it could be a very, very heavy one. Is what I'm seeing right now. But the good thing is my investments are somewhat interesting, to say the least. I won't get into them over YouTube, but they haven't done much in a while, put it that way, but they're not stock market investments. They're a little bit different. They basically bank, oh, there's that train. They basically do well. They do well on two things. One, when the US dollar is high, and two, when economic uncertainty is there. We got a high US dollar. The economic uncertainty hasn't really hit just yet. At least not enough for certain investments to start taking off, but I'm gonna AI this train in a second. Because I am not going to see anything else tonight. So yeah, I'm going to be, well, I get my son tomorrow. I might be around Saturday of all things. He's got a birthday party he's going to, so I might be around. But it's going to be a freaking heat wave down here. Go figure. And I can't go further north because of, the bug season, and even if I did, it's not that cool. You got to go way north to get away from this heat wave coming up. I'm going south, forget it. So I'm gonna be stuck with it and have to live on air conditioning in my car, maybe. Or stay in the house, try to avoid the humidity if I can, but I'm gonna go someplace. I forgot to change my channel. change the channel. All right. So yeah, I'll be back on Thursday. Alright. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I don't even know what the hell I did. Oh, I moved that over there. Okay. Accidentally dragged it. Wow, it's 11:08. Time flies by tonight. Okay, guys. So, yeah, unless my son and I are doing something probably in subsistence, we were going to do that tonight. That's about the only live stream you'll probably see with me. Run 8 will not be happening until at least next Thursday, and like I said, I got some time on Saturday, but I still don't know what the hell I'm doing Saturday afternoon between 12 and 6 yet. I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's going to start getting hot. I'll show you the temperatures. This is what it's looking like. See, we're in a heat warning right now, and it's not so much these temperatures. Now these Celsius, I mean, we're getting, I don't know, you guys can do the conversion, whatever the hell it is, 80s, 90s, whatever. But 37, 42, Humidex 43, these are the misery type temperatures, or whatever the hell they call them in the States. But yeah, there's a Saturday and Sunday. It is like crapola. It's going to take at least a week to get back more to at seasonal, or quite a little bit below seasonal. So yeah, this is going to be, so they got a heat warning out. Oh well, go figure. Just can't have a nice weekend. You gotta have a freaking heat event. Fun. Okay, guys, enough of the weather forecast. I'm gonna go take it easy for the remainder of the night before I hit the sack, and we'll see you next Thursday. Have a good one.